When I say short sellers have 1 month, literally, I'm talking about 1 month, all right? And this is not a clickbait. Hear me out. I think folks tend to forget that we have a very upcoming kind of judgment day from GameStop coming up in June, all right? Because when you actually look at what they announced last March 31st, they will request stockholder or shareholder approval for a stock split at the upcoming 2022 annual meeting, according to the SEC Securities Exchange or the SEC filing made earlier this, last couple of months. Now, we don't know exactly which date it's gonna be in 2022, but when you look at earnings date on Nasdaq.com is pointing to be in June 8th. And usually the shareholder meeting might also come later in June. But hear me out. The date is not the issue. What is really the most important thing to kind of focus on right now is about what this will trigger. All right? This will trigger an unprecedented shares recall. Why? Because in order to do, either, first of all, when you do a stock split, it means for one share, they can literally decide to do, 1 to 10. So for every share that you hold, they may give you now 10. But the most important thing besides it is the dividend coming up with it, all right? And in order to pay out dividends, the company will have to pay out dividends it doesn't matter, regardless of the form of the shape of that dividend, whether it's in, form of an NFT, form of a crypto coin, or form of a cash payment. They need to issue that dividend payment or payout to those real shares, to those owning the real shares, all right? It's like, I'm a dealership, all right? And you bought from me a car. And that car, in order to be registered to your name, you needed a title. So it doesn't matter how many copies, you photoshopped or whatever, and, do whatever you wanted with it. For me, when I do issue a recall, because maybe I need to change your brakes, maybe I need to change, a piece in the car, maybe I need to do something because, of a malfunction as coming from the company who actually built that car. It doesn't matter how many titles are out there. I only need one title issued to the single person who bought the car from me. All right. So that's kind of the same thing. So they're going to issue, when they issue dividend, they're going to recall. I mean, it's not recall. They're going to, actually pay those to the real shares. But here's the thing. Because there are so many outstanding synthetics, fake shares in circulation in the market out there for both of these stocks, when the recall happens from those who lended those shares to the borrowers in here, the short sellers, all right, it means, man, in order to get that dividend, I need to get my calls, man. And here's my shares. Here's the thing. They don't need to get any specific kind of heads up, right? They don't need any heads up. I mean, literally, as soon as they want, they're going to start, man, give me my shares back. Give me my shares back because I need to get that dividend. All right. So always keep in mind that the stock market always is ahead, always tries to anticipate what is coming. So we may start seeing this share recall happening even prior to June happening, even prior to the shareholder meeting happening, because this is something on all angles is going to be beneficial for all the shareholders and the company itself. All right. So by exposing the shorts, if it means, this share price will also go to the moon and the company will then move forward with whatever plans they have for the company after 2022, 23, 24, 25, then again, it's a good thing for everybody. So as I mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if this burn some of the short sellers, both in these companies, AMC and GameStop, and starts to kind of liquidating them, especially as we get into these high interest rates, making the short positions a lot more expensive to maintain. So just a good news and a heads up to not be too much depressed and stressed out by the share price action we're seeing both in AMC and GameStop, because coming June and maybe before June, we might see a strong reversal if it doesn't happen before, because of the market reversing in the uptrend.